Happily, our technical difficulties have been solved and we are back. Give us a few moments to update the team lists and names, and we'll get everything started.
And many apologies for the delays there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the National Capital Curling Center at the Potomac Curling Club for our coverage here of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel. My name is David Bykowski, and alongside Michael Dobbs, we are here covering our feature game in this 9:45 draw. Actually started a little late, maybe right around 9:55 or 10 o'clock. 3 first event games are still going out here on the ice. Our feature game featuring the Derek Tomlinson rink entitled the Golden Monkeys, I believe mostly from the Philadelphia area, taking on the Pittsburgh rink, skipped by Mark Robinson. Quick update here for you on the lineups for these teams as we look at Pittsburgh right now. Throwing the Yellow Rocks as they are on their first Skips Rocks. It is Leonard Jerabek at lead, Daphne Roberts at second, Brian Stewart vicing and throwing third, and Mark Robinson skipping and throwing fourth. And in fact, this is the skip Mark Robinson's first Yellow Rock here in this first end of play. Again, welcome to all of you that are following along wherever you may be. This is the final draw of the evening. We'll have plenty of coverage on Saturday and Sunday as well. Robinson's first rock, trying to just put this one in the house, ends up clipping the guard. And so, still looking at just the one red rock that is sitting in the back of the house and another red rock that is It looks like that is just biting over there on the left side as you see it over there on your screen, sitting just on the outside of the 12-foot. For the Golden Monkeys, a little bit of a lineup change from what we were expecting coming into this weekend. Ken Sievert is your lead for them. Ian Alexander at second. Jay Rusick throwing third, and Weissing. And the skip throwing fourth, Derek Tomlinson, as he is coming right down the ice. Again, Tomlinson and the Golden Monkeys with the Red Rocks, currently sitting 2 and have the hammer. So off to a dominant start so far here in this first end. This is their first game, I believe, of this weekend. Been some changes to the draw as we've been moving along. Few last-minute changes, so some of this I'm just kind of trying to go off of on memory, and some of it certainly has, it's been a little up and down. I know that Mark Robinson's Pittsburgh rink was a winner earlier this afternoon in the 4:15 draw over the Allen McNeil rink from Potomac. Gave up a 2-0 lead early on and then kind of took off from there on the scoreboard, and faced a little bit of a challenge from McNeil, but managed to get through that successfully. Nice draw there by Robinson. By Tomlinson. Robinson now really, without the hammer, really in trouble, facing 3 rocks. Got one that's sitting there open right there in the top 12, not quite actually getting to the top of the 8-foot circle there. A lot of junk there, but he's framed things really nicely there in the middle. Could have an opportunity for maybe a little bit of a hit and roll or kind of a tap back and roll. Not sure exactly how he wants to play this. He, from that broom placement, looks like that's going to be kind of up weight. Could be maybe about a hack to board weight or thereabouts on this one. Maybe a little more. Hard to tell in the early going. Both of these teams, of course, trying to feel out the ice and see how it's moving. What we saw a lot the last game was a lot of curl that was really kind of from both directions moving in towards the center, especially as we got past the opening ends. And definitely it took a while for the teams to pick up on what the speed of the ice was like. Last rock here coming from Robinson. Coming right down the middle, he's going to probably manage to get a little tap on that rock and roll behind. He's going to get way too much roll. It's going to be sitting in the open if it even sticks around at all. It's going to hang in the outside 12-foot. So it is right now Tomlinson sitting 2, and a great opportunity. Sure, absolutely go for the hit right there. Coming from the outside, throwing the out turn. Hit and stick around just anywhere in the house, and he can pick up 4 right here in this first end. Doesn't mean the game is over by any stretch. I've been on teams that have scored 5 and lost. I've been on teams that have given up 5 in the first and come back to win. So 4 could be nothing, and this one looks tight. Sweepers are on this one all the way. I think they're going to get a piece. Is the shooter going to stick around? I think he might just be able to. Going to try to sweep, and he's not really trying to sweep this one at all. A nice shot there. Give him a 4 out of 4 on that, and a 4 on the scoreboard. Tomlinson manages to do what he needs to there. Gets the hit. He knew that he had a little bit more room to work with coming back to the inside. And an early 4-0 lead for Derek Tomlinson's Golden Monkeys. We'll see if Mark Robinson and the Pittsburgh rink can come back and answer here in this second end, coming back here towards the warm room. And they will have the hammer at least. And an interesting strategy change here. Tomlinson calling for a rock to go right on the top of the 4-foot, not going for the guard on this one. Kind of surprising, I think. Might be a little early to be going to that strategy, but maybe that works for his team. Seen that before. His lead, Ken Sievert. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. It might also be Sivert, based on the S-E-I spelling at the start. And he's got the weight down pretty solidly there. Maybe a touch heavy, but tee line as opposed to 4 foot, top 4 foot. Can't really complain about that. And he is going to, by doing that, he's going to make the lead, Leonard Jerebeck, for Robinson's rink, throw to it and deal with it right away. Looked a little uneasy there coming out of the hack. As the rock is away, sweeper's on it about midway down the sheet, as this one is, like we were saying earlier, starting to cut a little bit, and we'll probably see a lot more action coming from these rocks in terms of moving over than we just did right there. That one kind of cutting fairly late, not moving a whole lot, but we should see more of that coming up later on. I think by about the 5th or 6th end, that kind of movement is going to actually put it probably outside part of the 4 foot, maybe middle of the 8 foot, looking across. So the second rock for Sievert here in the second end. The lead for the Tomlinson rink, 4-0 lead. Golden Monkeys with the red rocks here. This one may stick around in the back of the house. No, it's not going to. That one's going through. Now, the one thing if you're Tomlinson right now is you have to be very careful not to get soft. You're up 4-0. That is not a safe lead yet. It is way too early to feel safe. Leonard Jerebeck's second rock, the lead for Mark Robinson's Pittsburgh team. From watching them earlier, they had a difficult time getting a sense of the weight early on in their win over McNeil. And the line was not necessarily what they wanted. A lot of their hits were, instead of being nose on, ending up rolling out or maybe rolling off to the side and not really sticking around it quite where they wanted them to. Ian Alexander with his first rock, throwing second for the Golden Monkeys. Just looking to get rid of that guard. It's got to come over a bit, and this could be disaster. And I don't know. And instead of taking out the guard, he takes out his own shot rock in the house. And I don't know. I think you have to question the shot call on that one. I really don't see the point in deciding to... I really don't see the point in trying to get rid of that guard. Again, that's a very high guard, and it's really not in the way. So a small opportunity perhaps for Robinson's team to capitalize here. First rock from Daphne Roberts, the second for Pittsburgh. Coming around behind that guard. Looking pretty good. Probably don't need to sweep it quite so much. This one's still moving out there to the side. And a very nice rock there, sitting right there at the top of the 4 foot, top button as far as the height. But again, with that guard so high up there, it's really not that much in the way, and this ice is going to keep moving that much more. You're going to get, it's already getting easily 2 to 3 feet of curl, and I think that's going to extend out to about 4.5 feet by the time this game is over. Wouldn't be terrible if he manages to wreck on this guard, and that's exactly what happens here with Alexander's second rock. Again, you want a result that's more like that than to flash would be the bad miss there, just like doing something, anything on that guard on the last call. You have to touch that guard. You cannot flash. If you're going to flash, you have to make sure it stays out there wide. Otherwise, well, you get a result like that and where you take your own rock out of play. Second rock here for Daphne Roberts. Coming into the house, hopefully can get a rub off of that one that's in there. No, that's probably going to sail out the back now. Swept out there by Tomlinson. And it's the Vice's turn now. Jay Rusick with an easy, wide open hit for his first rock here in this second end. Sweepers on this one fairly early. Going pretty hard, and now they come off of it. That's got to be the sign of a good shot. No problem there. Straight on the nose. So Robinson with no guards in play. Just the one red rock that he's going to call for the top freeze on. This is a very aggressive style of calling the game. You're only down 4-0. You've got to hope, I think, for some misses here, but certainly one miss and a made draw, and you can pick up 2. This is really very early to be calling for this aggressive of a style of play. Maybe you might do this if you're playing an opponent that you really feel like you have absolutely no chance of beating. Even then, I think you still need to get a much better feel for the ice. This has got to be such a perfect shot, and you can see it is not. It's coming off to the outside, rolls out to the 8-foot. Tomlinson's still sitting 1, and Robinson's second shot rock is about to be taken out by Rusick right here. It wouldn't be curling without commentary, so says Michael Dobbs. So, pretty easy takeout there that Rusick made. No problems on either of those 2 shots. And a little bit more pressure here on Brian Stewart to get something going. Trying to freeze onto something here. Probably wants to come on over to, come on over to the one that's sitting there in the back. Go and freeze onto that shot in the 4-foot. It's got to come over a lot more. You can see, I think he's still trying to figure out the ice. And the weight's a little bit heavy. Not a good start these first couple events for Pittsburgh. A lot of rocks in play in that first end. Second end has been a very different story, and they're already down 4-0. So Tomlinson calling the strategy here. Definitely wants to take control of that 4-foot. Probably put something, maybe, you don't want to put anything in that's going to be too close and leave an easy hit and stick that would count for shot rock. Might want to take away, looking at trying to take away the corner freeze, put something. I like putting something about top 8, top 12 foot there. You've got something that's counting. You're sitting 2 already. You're up 4-0. You really don't need to go crazy here. Just put something in there that's going to at least cause some trouble. A guard is probably a little too high up, especially as this ice starts to get more swing going. And I know I keep saying it, and you're probably wondering what I'm thinking. You don't believe me. You see these rocks, they're not coming over quite as much. Stay tuned. That's all I'll say. Tomlinson's rock is away here. First Skip's rock here in the second end. And you can see this one especially is coming away from him, coming across the center line and over left to right as appearing on your computer screen. Might have been a little heavy, but that's not the real issue on that one. He's sitting 3 now, but that 4-foot is still wide open. It's exactly what Robinson wants to be looking at coming into this house. Without the hammer, you got to keep that center open. He's got some possibilities to either freeze or just play a cold draw. The one thing is he has to play a draw on these shots. He knows that he's going to be playing a draw for his final shot of this end. You got to be thinking, I'm going to be throwing 2 draws, so I need to throw the first one a draw to make it good. That didn't make much sense. You know you're throwing a draw for your last shot, so you better throw your first one as a skip, as a draw as well. In any case, Robinson in a tough spot here, down 4-0 and facing 3 in the house. He may be going for the double here, and I'm not sure. I can't agree with that strategy call. I just can't. It's a lot of variance there. He goes from playing a very aggressive call to playing the top freeze earlier, and now he goes maybe a little too conservative in deciding to play the hit and try to go for the double over there on the right side of the house. Robinson's first rock here in this second end. Got plenty of weight. I think he's put it outside just a bit. I don't think he's going to get both of them. He's going to hope to get one of them at least. It's still going away. He got one, and it jams on his kicker in the back, and that is about the worst result you could possibly have. You'd rather flash than have that happen. And I think from our angle here, it looked like his line was okay, but he just put it outside right away on the release. And the sweepers knew it, and his vice definitely knew it as well. So it's still sitting 3 with nothing in play for Robinson. Tomlinson just wants to junk things up. Might as well put something, again, about top 8, maybe just touching the top 4 foot. Again, you don't want to go in too deep. Just surround that 4-foot circle. Tomlinson's last rock is away. Sweeper staying close. Now they go on about 2/3 of the way down the sheet. Just getting this one to the house anywhere is going to be pretty good. Line is looking pretty nice, and that he's got that about top 8 foot. Definitely a good shot. Well, Robinson's got something to freeze on in the back, and if he can do that successfully, it'll be good for 1. Sure looks like it would be good for 1 here. He's got some room to work with. The question is, has he figured out the ice yet? Definitely a make or break moment here in this game. And then when you're down 4-0 and facing 4 in the second end, you don't want that to be such a make or break moment here in this one. Hammer is away from Mark Robinson. He's thrown this one heavy. Sweepers staying away from it. Trying to dig in. Has he got a piece of something to stick around? Can he at least cut them down a bit? The answer is I think he's managed to cut him down at least to 3. Could be, it's definitely a steal of 2. They may need to measure for 3rd shot. It's hard to tell at this point. They're kicking him away. We'll find out on the scoreboard. But in any case, Robinson is down at least 6-0 after 2 ends. It's definitely not breaking quite that much yet, and he was pretty fortunate, I thought, to have. He was pretty fortunate that hung out there. That one could have gone right in between and been a field goal, and then you're down 8-0. Still haven't seen the score posted yet. Again, you can see the lineup there for the Golden Monkeys. Ken Sieverd, Ian Alexander, Jay Rusick, Derek Tomlinson. At least a 6-0 lead. And now I definitely would not fault Tomlinson for calling for the draw to the top 4. You don't need guards in play. You don't need to be focusing on trying to steal. You just want to... You can really trade 2 for 1 the rest of the game and still win pretty easily at this point. And they definitely have the weight down much better than we've seen from this Pittsburgh team. Obviously, it's very difficult for some of these teams coming from arena clubs to make adjustments to play on dedicated curling ice. It's wonderful for them to have the opportunity. It's wonderful that they're getting curling started in so many places in the country where it's just so difficult to try to get dedicated curling ice right away if you're trying to start up a club and away from kind of your curling heritage spots like the Midwest. But it's a challenge, and it's definitely a challenge for people used to dedicated ice to play on arena ice, and it's a challenge for arena club members to play on dedicated curling ice. Big adjustments, and a lot of times you actually find that's the opposite of what we're seeing here. A lot of times it can be that the speed is in fact too much for them. We were seeing some very fast ice conditions earlier today, and some teams were struggling to really get accustomed to it. Second rock here from Ken Sieverd for the Golden Monkeys. Got one in the top house for each team right now. And an interesting result there. Manages to kick both of them off to the side. Let the shooter drag all the way back to about the back 8 foot. And kick that one in the top 12 off to the right side of the house. Still sitting in the 12, but now sitting 2 in what would be pretty much an impossible double. Second rock for Leonard Jarabek, the lead for the Pittsburgh team. He's playing this one down to that red shot rock in the back of the house. That is pretty close there, going to the back of the 4 foot. It's a nice shot. I'd give that about a 3 out of 4. Definitely on those freezes, you'd like to leave it just a little bit short as opposed to coming back too far and bumping. And again, you really need those rocks sitting in the back to help you out when you're down by this much. Again, we are still waiting for the score to be posted from the second end, so you're seeing 4-0. I know, and those of you that have been watching know that it is at least 6-0, maybe 7-0 at this point in favor of the Golden Monkeys in this, our feature game here on Sheet B, here at the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel. Ian Alexander not quite getting all of the rock on that one, and managing to split the yellow off to the back. So an opportunity here for Pittsburgh to maybe be able to draw to the back on the opposite side of the house, see if they can tap that red rock in the back 12 back, maybe just a little bit and sit 1-2. Close call to go and see who's actually sitting shot. I think actually Pittsburgh's already sitting shot rock at the moment. Might not even need a tap. Sweepers are on this one. Trying to get this one back there to the right side. Coming up light, but he still may be sitting 1-2 if they can get a little more out of it. Not quite, no. Just barely sitting about full 12 in the top part of the house. Tomlinson, of course, will be happy to get rid of that shot rock for Pittsburgh. Tomlinson and his squad currently sitting second and third shot. Pittsburgh sitting 1 and 4. This isn't the only game that looks to be kind of an early blowout possibility. Over on Sheet A, the Andrew Rink is down 6-0 after 2 ends, after giving up what appears to be back-to-back steals of 3 to start off the game. Over on Sheet D, it is Baird versus Ashford. 2-1 your score right now. Rich Ashford playing with Potomac member Brian Gelbach. An entertaining back end on that squad. Appears that it is Ashford and Gelbach with the Red Rocks down 2-1 over there. We'll keep you posted on the action every once in a while on the other games. No game right now on Sheet C, only 3 games this draw. Daphne Roberts, the second for Pittsburgh, with her rock. Facing again just a couple of Red Rocks there in the back of the house. Lots of opportunities for freezing. Wouldn't mind leaving something in the top part of the house, maybe even just coming down to top 4 foot. Force them to play a hit back and try to get a jam. A little heavy there, but that seems to go and do the trick to be sitting shot rock for the moment. Tomlinson again will just simply look to get rid of it. Doesn't mind if he loses his red rock that's just barely hanging on in the back of the house. Again, as I said last game, we are going to try to keep this somewhat family friendly. I won't use the somewhat derisive term for those backbiters there. Well, not quite the result that they were looking for on that one. They managed to take their own rock out and roll the shooter out as well. So Pittsburgh with a golden opportunity here against the Golden Monkeys. Still trying to go and play the draw. That looks like maybe a bit much on the amount of ice for this draw. Playing over to what appears to be, I think that's probably still a shot rock there for red in the back of the house on the right side. Got this one around their own. Question is, can they get this one back there enough? Not quite, but it's going to be good enough for shot for now at least. Might have been an oversweep there. They're at least now they're at least giving themselves opportunities to do something. They had a lot of rocks out front and a lot of rocks out of play in the first 2 ends. Here in the third, now they've got some things that they can work with. They've still got an opportunity, actually, on that what now is second shot rock for the Golden Monkeys. They've still got an opportunity to maybe be able to get around to the outside and just tap it back a little bit to be able to pick up a big end here. Something to keep an eye on here. Jay Rusick gets set here in the hack. Coming with pretty good weight here for the hit. Sweeper's on this one most of the way down. Actually, oh, that is a very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate kick there. I don't believe what just happened.
Depends on your point of view. Pittsburgh, it's a very fortunate kick.
It is very good if you're a Pittsburgh fan. That is, so that's about the worst break that you could have there. Crash on the yellow rock into your own, run that back into your second shot rock, and now Pittsburgh is sitting 3. Well, a huge turn of events here, and with this draw, plenty of backing available there. It's going to come down to skips rocks, and Pittsburgh is going to be sitting 4. I feel pretty confident of this one. Weight looks good here. Not really a problem if you leave this one up fairly high. Just got to go and get this one into the house somewhere. Well, I stand corrected. They don't get it there at all, but they've got they've got them blocked there. The wide open hit they've taken away can still draw down to it, Tomlinson can. Still waiting on a score update from the second end. At least for now, we'll call it 6-0. Yeah, should be online. Yep. Shots away here for Tomlinson. First skips rock here in this third end. Pretty generous.
So go on this site?
Yeah, you go to curldc.org and you'll be able to see the link, especially if you look this weekend, you'll see the link to our live streaming broadcasts. Yep. Everything's all through livestream.com. It's Yep, I was just doing the last game here. I was on B, and then yeah, you'll find they should be on there for a good long while, but probably basically permanently off of livestream.com is who we're using as our service provider. Yeah. Yeah, you bet. Well, if you're Robinson, you are sitting there looking at sitting 2 right now, and the hit is open. Looks like he's trying to just play a draw back to that one. Maybe maybe you could throw about backline weight and just tap it back a little bit. If he makes that, that'll be a very good shot. It's a lot of ice, I agree. Seems more like about the kind of ice you might be throwing for maybe about T or even top 8 or so. We'll see what Robinson comes up with here. His first skips rock here in this third end. The score's now gone up. It is a 7-0 lead for Tomlinson. So they didn't measure, and it was indeed 3. All the more reason for Robinson to really make sure to pick up. Got an opportunity for 4 here. I think you got to come right back and take 4. This one appears light. He's got to get this one in a little deeper. It's also not moving over quite as much. So, well, an interesting play there. That could come into play later, but they've made things a little tougher on themselves if they want to play the hit on that last rock. It's still open, and they've kind of framed the shot, but there's definitely a plenty big hole for Tomlinson to put one right in there. All he's got to do is really get full 8-foot to sit shot rock at this point. Give you a quick look at our overhead cam on this sheet. You can see that, again, everything's right around that edge of the 8 to 12 foot there. Tomlinson's second rock is away. Last red rock here in the third end. Sweeper's on this one furiously for a while. Looks like this one is coming up light. He might at least be able to block the hit. Got to watch out for the guards. Has he got enough to get in there? Oh, beautiful shot there. This is why you do not judge weight from the warm room, ladies and gentlemen, because you will inevitably be wrong, wrong, wrong. Well, an opportunity for a huge end has been really cut down. No real opportunity to get to that one, at least for the hit. And, yep, you just have to draw down to it. Got room to tap it back. Cannot be light on this one. Take your one and hope for something better. 7-1 is not insurmountable. Just really, 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 really hard, and you need some good luck too. Robinson gets set here in the hack for his final rock. Hammer coming here in the third end. And away it goes. Looks maybe a little heavy. He's a little tight as well. That actually could be a good combination, though. He's got to come over some more. That rock has got to move, and with that kind of weight, he may not get the amount of rollover he's looking for. That is, it rubs and goes too deep, and it is another steal for Derek Tomlinson. And an 8-0 lead after 3 ends. Eight 0 your score in favor of Derek Tomlinson's Golden Monkeys over Mark Robinson's team Pittsburgh. 4th end coming here. And at this point, if you're Pittsburgh, you're just looking to put a couple numbers on the board and build up some encouragement, I think, for tomorrow. Definitely been a very frustrating time, a huge opportunity that last end, and a very nice draw there. Right around about to the tee, full 8 foot for Derek Tomlinson. And Robinson just a little heavy, just a little too far outside as well, and couldn't pick up the one. So now that they're up 8-0, Tomlinson's squad decides to put a guard up. I'm sure that he, again, would rather have had that one in the top 4 foot based on his earlier strategy, but let's play around. Let's see what we can do here. Leonard Jarabek, the lead for Pittsburgh, with his first rock right now. I think he may just need to be worrying about getting this one in a useful place in play. Run this one right on the guard is not helpful, and that is pretty much straight back. Well, it could be worse. He's at least tapped it to the rings. Might be able to have a tap back opportunity. If anything, if you're going to have a guard at this point, you really want to have those corner guards. You want to go and keep that middle open. Maybe let that one cut a little bit more before making contact to open things up a little bit. Instead, right now, that center is closed up, and that is going to be trouble as long as that keeps going. They don't have it posted yet, but we know it. It is 8-0 in favor of Derek Tomlinson and the Golden Monkeys. Second rock here from the lead, Ken Sieverd. And he's going to help the cause out by opening things up there over the middle. Now, I know it can be tempting. Now, I think it can be tempting if you're in Robinson's position to look at that hit, and you cannot throw that hit right now. You are down 8-0. You have to throw draws. You have to make shots. He's going to try to go and draw to the middle. He's got a corner guard now sitting out there protecting the edge of that 8 foot, and I think this is the time that he's got to start using it. Put some rocks out there. Don't worry about that one that's sitting right up front. You can worry about that a little later. Get 1 or 2 that are sitting on the outside. Going to be a harder hit. Got some protection to work with, your own protection especially. This is just, I kind of think this is just an error in strategy, and it's something that you learn over time. And he is all over the guard. Light, and this is not amounting to what Pittsburgh is wanting. Well, oftentimes beginning curlers think the lead is not really all that important. You go out there, you throw 2 rocks, you sweep 6, and you kind of shut up. You don't really say anything about the strategy, and the fact is the lead is actually quite possibly one of the most important positions. Those first 2 rocks can really set up an end or can really make things much harder for the rest of the team. Oftentimes, you may actually prefer to have a less experienced curler throwing second than your lead to make sure you're either getting guards where you want them or getting those draws behind. And this lead position is definitely making all the difference. Then again, it doesn't hurt when you've got a second like Ian Alexander who can throw a shot like that, sitting right there on the button. Got another one sitting in the top 12. 2 in the house for the Golden Monkeys. And again, just tough shots that Pittsburgh is having to make here. Daphne Roberts with this one. Her first. Rock is away. And watch this one cut more. It looks like it's too much, but watch as this one is moving a lot more coming this way than we've seen on a lot of these others. That's easily going to get to that rock that's right there on the button. And if you're looking the other way, you're thinking, that's probably not going to get there. That's way too much ice. It is really moving a lot on that turn. Now, unfortunately, she's left this one wide open. Alexander looking really strong here today. His second rock away. He's thrown this one pretty down weight. That looks nothing like a hit that I would have expected there. I don't know that that's even going to make it. Yeah, that would have made it to the house, but that's about the opposite of what we would have been looking for there. So 1 in the forefoot for Pittsburgh. It's looking to make it 2 of them in there now. Daphne Roberts with her second. And sweepers probably need to get on this one right now. This one is moving hard, moving hard. You need to get on that. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I think that is going to just got a piece of the guard. Close there. And just bury that one there in the corner. It's dead. Jay Rusick with his first rock. Looking to throw the hit. He has thrown this one. That is way wide of where that broom was placed. But he's thrown this one down weight, and it's going to come back in. Does he have enough weight on it? He might have enough to be able to tap it back, but that's not more than back line, I don't think. Well, I would think that he's going for the hits on these shots. I would be very surprised if it were a strategy call to just barely tap these back. Folks, if you're just joining us, welcome in. This is the final draw of the first day of the 2012 inaugural Bonspiel here at the Potomac Curling Club. My name is David Bykowski. Alongside me, Michael Dobbs, our technical expert, one of the people who has really helped make this camera setup and our live streaming possible, courtesy of livestream.com. And there is a very nice shot by Brian Stewart. Pittsburgh really fighting to go and get back into this game. So they're sitting 1 right now and also have third shot. Golden Monkeys up 8-0 right now with the Red Rocks. Sitting second shot. Derek Tomlinson looking to figure out a way to make something happen here. Not a whole lot of pressure when you're up 8-0, but it's very easy to just get really lax and just simply let whatever happen, not really worry about your misses, and next thing you know, an 8-0 lead becomes 8-7. This one is light all the way. And they're just simply guarding up Pittsburgh's stone. Not a terrible result. It's going to make it tougher for them to be able to bump that red second shot rock out of there. They don't really have any access to it other than trying to maybe throw pretty big weight. You can see that those rocks they was just pointing at, and that's exactly where Robinson is looking to throw something. I don't know that I'm agreeing with this. If those aren't lined up perfectly, you could end up taking yourself out in the back of that house. And again, you're not adding a whole lot to this. I think this is maybe just trying to make things a little too difficult, a little too cute here. I know you're down 8-0, but I'm not sure that this really is going to add a whole lot for you. In any case, the rock is away. Second rock from Brian Stewart. Kind of hanging a little bit on that center line. And we'll see what happens here. Clears a few things up. Got some tap back options now on the red into the yellow, looking at the right side of the house, just right of that center line. Well, tough times over there on sheet D. Brian Gelbach throwing fourth rocks for his and Rich Ashford's team. Not looking at a very pretty house. Got one rock right in the center, very well protected, and it looks like it is a steal of 2 for Mr. Baird. And a 5-1 lead now at the halfway point in that match. Tough times over on sheet A. The Andrews, Doug and Lisa, down 7-0 in their game. Folks, these games may be ending early, so take them in while you can right now. Derek Tomlinson with his shot here. His first rock of this fourth end. Looking to play the double takeout here. Taking away that tap back. Gets the one, gets a piece of that, and a beautiful shot by Tomlinson to get the double. That is definitely worth a cowbell, ladies and gentlemen. And now Pittsburgh once again really with no options. This team for Derek Tomlinson is coming through left and right, making big shots. Tomlinson, that's 2 very big shots that he's made in this game. The draw coming back in the third end, and then the double takeout here in the fourth. If Billy Packer were here covering this game, he'd probably say, this one is over. We'll see what Mark Robinson can pull off here. He's still got a couple of rocks, still an opportunity to at least get 1, maybe 2. Just wants to go and draw one in. Plenty of room to come around on that side. This looks a little tight on the ice. This side is going to move as it comes back in towards the center. He's got the broom set up on the outside of the 8-foot circle. But the way this ice is starting to cut, I think he's going to need to play it even further out. It looks like it's moving easily 3 feet, coming up on 4 feet of curl at this point. Shots away. Line's pretty close, maybe a hair narrow, not too much. Sweepers are on this one as it is moving. And it looks like he may be, he's definitely going to be catching that red guard. So he's opened up a tap back for now. And Tomlinson, quite honestly, might just simply want to do a color swap there and just get rid of that yellow guard, put his own red guard there, and force a draw against 1 just to pick up 1. When you go back and look at that third end, and in some ways, You would think there were a couple moments where everything going wrong for the Golden Monkeys, missing a couple of shots the exact wrong way. And it turned out Pittsburgh looked like they were ready to capitalize, and then a great shot by Derek Tomlinson, the skip, with his last rock to bail them out. Robinson just a little bit heavy and ends up giving up the steal of one in the third. That a very telling moment in this game. So the final rock of this end is away for the Golden Monkeys. Just looking to try to block or make that tap up more difficult, and he's put that in a nice position. Can't get to the nose of that one. He can try to play a double tap, but he either has to very much thin that high red guard, or he's going to be playing it at an angle and hoping to put it in the exact right spot just to take one. Very tough shot there. At this point, you've got to play the draw, I think. You have to put it out there outside of that 8-foot circle. Further out than that. Further out than that. Keep going. That's about right. I think that's a much better chance. And you've got to give it a little bit more weight. I don't think that we haven't thrown any rocks out that far yet. I don't mind seeing that either. Certainly those yellow guards way out to the left are not going to come into play. The thing you cannot do is wreck on your guard. Now he's given himself probably the most room for this shot. Needs a little bit better than full 8-foot. If he can catch a piece of the 4-foot, that certainly will do it. So Mark Robinson setting up here in the hack for this hammer in the 4th end. Rock is away. He's put it a little bit outside. The question is, does he have the weight? The line is going to work out fine, I think, but can this one get to the house? It's got an option. It is hanging out there way on the outside now. And that is not going to get there. It is another one. Make it 9-0 in favor of the Golden Monkeys. I think if you're Mark Robinson, you just want to keep playing long enough just to put 1 point on the board at least. And then at that point, celebrate, shake hands, and get a drink. Probably more. You might need it after that. So at the halfway point in this match, it is 9-0 in favor of the Golden Monkeys over Mark Robinson's Pittsburgh team. Looking over on sheet A, Andrew Hamilton, and Hamilton with the yellow rocks and facing a pretty ugly situation over there. Red is sitting with 2 rocks pretty well protected in the 4-foot. And this is the hammer coming up for the skip, Doug Andrew. Not sure how he's really going to be able to try to get at that one. He could be down 9-0 after this one, after 4 ends as well. And Baird leading Ashford and Gelbach 5-1 as they play the 5th end right now. Could be a lot of games ending early. Well, a lot of people have cleared out here on Friday night. Going to be plenty of action here tomorrow. You can hear that the warm room a bit more quiet than we've seen it late in the last draw in the early part of this one. And over on A, it's a hit, not enough of a roll, and it looks like that is a steal of 2 more. 9-0 in 2 games after 4 ends right now, both favoring the red team. Ken Sievert with his second lead rock here for the Golden Monkeys. Looking to take out that one yellow Pittsburgh rock you see in the house right there at the top of the forefoot. Doesn't really care if he rolls out, which he's not even going to do that. Another good shot there. This Tomlinson rink is really just kind of piling it on at this point. They are clicking on all cylinders, and again, in the battle of the leads, there's no question Sievert playing much stronger than Leonard Jarabek in this one. That has been making a huge difference. It's been setting things up much better for the rest of the team, and Tomlinson with a couple of really big shots that even when things have been close, he's managed to just simply put it away. Nice rock there by Jarabek, just getting a little bit of a bump, probably a little more than he'd like. Ian Alexander getting set up here in the hack for his first rock. Throwing second for Tomlinson here in this fifth end. Just going to play the hit. Doesn't really care if his own rock spills out behind it. No problem with that. Shots away. His hits have been pretty good today. Well, not quite the shot that he was looking for on that one. So Pittsburgh with a little bit of an opportunity here in the fifth. See if they can put this together. Daphne Roberts getting set. Not a whole lot to talk about in terms of strategy at this point. You might as well go ahead and get rid of that red rock that's sitting right there, right around the center line. Nice shot by Daphne to get that one out. And Pittsburgh will sit 1-2. Well, Alexander just wants to go and at least get rid of one here. Of course, if he hits in the right spot, he could make a double. And the way that things have been going for this team, that wouldn't be terribly surprising for that to happen. Second rock from the second Alexander is away. And he gets one of them out. Certainly had an opportunity for the double, just caught it a little too flush on the second rock. Pittsburgh still sitting 1 right now, with the Golden Monkeys sitting 2 and 3. Daphne Roberts setting up to throw her second shot, going to throw over to the right side, over at that one that just rolled over there from Alexander. Shots away, definitely offline and moving way to the outside. Put that one probably a little bit inside, and actually the sweepers did a great job of really saving that shot. That one looked like it was going to get away from them, and they did a great job making sure to keep that one around. Pittsburgh back to sitting 2, and I think if we look at this one from above, that one appears to be undoubleable. Yes, definitely undoubleable right now. That's a great result there. This is the kind of momentum that Pittsburgh really needs to be building up. Maybe not so much for this game, but you want to go into tomorrow feeling good about something that you did the previous night. And they still can feel pretty good about the win that they got earlier this afternoon over McNeil, but being able to put some points on the board, put some shots together late in this game, that's really going to help him out the rest of the weekend. Pretty easy hit there for Jay Rusick. And Brian Stewart, not a whole lot of options left for him other than to just probably replay about that same shot. Maybe a hair less weight from that broom placement. We'll see how much this one moves. He's put this one a little narrow, I think. Sweepers are not on it, though. It is on that center line, and the Rocks don't really like to move much off of the center line. It is still on the center. I think he's going to catch just a little piece of it over there and roll pretty much out of play. So Pittsburgh now down to sitting just one. And again, no reason not to chase here. Can't really see all of this one, but just about all of it. Maybe a little bit down weight, good control or bumper weight to get at this one. Rusick with his rock. Sweepers on this one. Looking pretty good, but it may be coming in on that red guard. Yes, he's going to clip the guard just a little bit and open this up. Well, he set himself up for the next shot at least. Really no real damage coming from that. Well, again, if you're Robinson, you just want to put another one in there, about the same depth in the house, and really just make sure that you're taking away the double. Probably go about the opposite side. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Brian Stewart with his second shot. No real problems on the straight back hit. Gets enough weight to take that one out. So it looks like it is 2 for Pittsburgh right now. Kind of close there on the second shot, Rocks. Tomlinson probably just going to go for the shot rock there on the forefoot. Take it out. Maybe roll behind even. Yeah. Let's go and put the things in.
Apologize for that there. That was indeed the last rock. We'll see what the score gets posted. Looks like the Code Monkeys are just playing the smart move here, taking out any yellow they see from Pittsburgh. Score update, it looks like Pittsburgh got 2 in the 5th end, so it is now 9-2 in the 6th end. Code Monkeys have the hammer. So it looks like even though Pittsburgh just scored 2, they're going to go ahead and shake. Once again, this is the Potomac Curling Club here at the National Capital Curling Center. I want to thank you for watching online. We will be going off the air since this is our last draw for the night, but be sure to tune in tomorrow morning. We don't have a schedule yet, but check the website, or you can follow us on live stream and it will email you when we go live. Have a wonderful evening.